Hi, my name is Sienna Wareham. I'm 25 years old, based out of Austin, Texas, and this is Financial Audit.
What do you do for a living here in Austin?
I work as a bond underwriting assistant for Markel.
Oh, okay. Yeah. How much do you bring in on a yearly basis?
I don't know the yearly, but I know I make $23 an hour, about 37 and a half a week. So
37 and a half?
Yeah.
Why is it not right up to that 40?
I think they were doing like a 40-hour work week, but then to kind of like, I guess like with COVID or something, they kind of went down to 37 and a half as like the full time. It was like before I came in, so.
That's 25 an hour?
23 an hour.
23. Interesting. How often do you take time off?
I try not to as much as I can. But like, days like today, like I did, so. But for the most part, like I'm there the full 37 and a half.
That would be $44,850 a year if you didn't take any time off. Obviously, you're going to take time off. What are we thinking, like $40,000 a year?
Not that.
42,000?
Yeah, not that low. Maybe like 42, 43.
Yeah, 42. Okay. Call $42,000 on a yearly basis. Pretty cool. Okay. For the Austin area, it's in a more expensive area. I think in majority places in Texas or along the South, 44 or, whatever would be fine. But, in Austin, how do you feel living on 42?
Well, I feel very kind of fortunate just because right now, I live with my boyfriend and he pays for the rent and I take care of everything else. So it kind of,
Don't you owe him money though?
I do owe him money, yes.
Oh, okay. So it's...
So our relationship agreement is just kind of he pays the rent and then that was extra money on top of it, but...
Interesting. Okay. So lots of boyfriend help.
A lot, yes.
Okay. How old is he?
He's 29.
What does he do?
He's a law school student.
He's a student?
Yeah.
But he's paying for everything? Is he working? Or is he getting money from the fam?
He's getting money from his family that basically kind of helps pay for the apartment. But like I said, everything else, I pay for.
If they want to do it, that's fine. Yeah. It's just a little interesting because you're the one with the job, but he's paying for it. But okay, go ahead and give us a breakdown. What's your financial situation looking like today? Give us a score, 0 out of 10.
So on the score 0 out of 10, just right now, I think I would probably put myself at a 1.52.
Wow. Okay.
Just because I was doing pretty good about this time last year, but then I had a series of events come up and that kind of resulted in me using my credit card a lot more than what I normally would have been using. And now we're kind of at the point where I think everything has settled down now, and now it's just a matter of picking everything back up. So a lot of what I do is just try to pay off my credit card to discover as much as I can. But as you can see, it's not going on so well.
Well, yeah, I'm going to get on you on that a little because you kind of did the stupidest thing you could do when it comes to paying off a credit card. But we'll get to that. And that was kind of upsetting as I was looking through everything. But yeah. But we will just start with the checking accounts. Then we'll look at the savings and the retirement. The accounts exist.
Yeah.
The numbers in them barely exist, but we will still look at them and then we'll get into your debts. But let's just set a foundation first. Starting with $98 in a checking account. Assuming you have automatic withdrawals and things, that can be kind of low.
Yeah, I don't have any automatic withdrawals on my Gate City. The only one that I have automatic is the power bill, which is on my Bank of America.
Okay.
And so that one, as long as I just keep, $90 in there, I know that'll be fine.
Ended with 557, 1,691 came in, 1,232 out. So let's actually take a step back for a second. So if we do 42 and then we have taxes, and you're contributing to a 401k?
Yeah. So I just got hired on at Markel as a full-time employee. So I just started the 401k there. So it's existent, but I've only contributed money for 2 pay periods now.
What do you think you're bringing in?
So my
on a monthly basis?
2,400, I think. About 2,400.
And it's split between the 2 checking accounts?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, y'all. We got to talk about something important. Data brokers are making a fortune selling your private data out. And it goes to robocallers and scammers and other people who want to know more about you, like where you live. But that's why I'm excited to talk about today's sponsor, Aura. Aura can identify data brokers exposing your info and submit opt-out requests on your behalf. Brokers are legally required to remove your info if you ask them to, but they make it super hard to do. Let Aura handle it for you. You can try Aura free for 2 weeks using my link in the description below or by going to aura.com/hammer. Aura also does much more to protect you and your family from online threats you can't see. It's really easy to set up so you don't have to download several different apps to get things like parental controls, antivirus, VPN, password management, identity theft insurance, and more. You get everything at one affordable price. Let Aura do the hard work of keeping you safe online so you can focus on the rest of life with peace of mind. You can either let people continue to exploit and profit off your private information, or you can go to aura.com/hammer. So head there and start your free 2-week trial or check out the link in the description below. A month? Yeah, it's a month, not paycheck.
Yeah, it's like $1,200 a paycheck.
Okay. That'd bring you to $30,000. Yeah, maybe. Well, what's your 401k contribution at right now?
So I have it set out to, I think it's 3% out of my paycheck goes into the 401k. And then I think the company also matches at 3%. I think that's how I had it set up.
2,400. Yeah. We saw in the two accounts together, 2,100 come
in. Okay.
So that brings it even lower.
Yeah. I do like in general like estimations, so it's probably the market there.
Well, I mean, I guess we're only going to go off of what we have. 2,100, huh? Okay. So in here, knowing that we have debt and stuff, we're Venmoing out a lot of money, by the way.
Yeah.
Constantly. Venmo, getting coffee, some Regal Gateway and Arby's and Office de Tridon and Buffalo Wings. Halu Cosmetics expensive.
Yep.
Well, we're trying to get out of debt. And Venmoing out $100. Is Daniel the boyfriend?
Yep, that's right.
$400 sent to
Yeah,
Daniel.
that's like part of the money that I owe him. So.
Oh, yeah, we'll get into that. Total Wine, not 100% necessary when we're trying to get out of debt, especially if we owe money to our boyfriend. Venmoing out $100. Venmoing out $55. Venmoing out $110. It's a lot of Venmoing out money.
Yeah, so I kind of have like this personal trainer that that I see just like twice a week. She kind of like helps with like trying to work out because I'm trying to like in the process of losing weight. So I was like seeing her when she lived here in Austin, but then she moved out to Chicago. So now we just kind of do like virtual appointments.
Physical health is so important. That's why I don't bash anyone for going to the gym, even if it's kind of costly, but that is adding up to so much. But if that's what's working for you, I don't know. We're gonna have to take a look at the end with everything put together.
Gotcha.
Before we get to that ending, you should hit subscribe though, because we're trying to get to 500,000 subscribers, and we are very close. Okay, so and then we have the Bank of America, where there are automatic withdrawals.
Yep.
Started with 150, ending with 240. 1,305 came in, and then about 1,200 went out. In here, Rick's Cleaners and Domino's. We're getting some pizza. Zelling out money because you weren't already Venmoing out enough money. Then so you zelled out 40, then you zelled out 500. So we're sending money to a lot of different people, by the way. And we're paying off Bank of America credit. Well, not paying off, but we're putting payments towards it. And then we're again zelling out $65. Why are we sending so much money around Venmo and Zells?
So, like the personal trainer, she takes Venmo, so that's like the Gate City, like all the.
That was a lot of money. Okay.
Yeah. So that's kind of what that is. And then my boyfriend needed some of the money that I owed him here pretty recently, so that's why some of the Zelle transfers over to him are for that reason. And then another thing is just like I try to keep like a little bit of money in like each of my accounts, just because like I try to like keep track in my head about how much is on each of my cards. And then if I get like lower than a point, then I try to like spread the money out. That was just like, it's a little bit more like manageable for me in the sense of like, if I do like pick the wrong card, if I'm like, you know, like a little bit anxious at the checkout line and just to grab the first card, I know that I should have enough to cover like whatever it is I'm doing. So a lot of those payments are like to myself. If it's like a Zelle, like to me and stuff. So.
Now, you just started this retirement account, right? Or
yeah.
Well, no, what about the savings? Let's start with the savings. What is the savings? This isn't savings.
Yeah. So about this time last year, I had about $1,000 in my savings account, or like $1,200 actually. But then, like I said, like earlier, there's like a series of like events that happened.
Well, okay, what happened?
My grandmother had a health scare, and like at the time I was in Korea, and I was already planning on moving here to Austin. So I had that flight booked, but then that scare kind of came in, so I wanted to go like see her before she passed because I haven't seen her for a few years. So I had to like change the booking there from international. Like I basically had to book like 2 flights, one to change the airport from Austin, or to go from Austin to Idaho, and then get there. And then it was also a bunch of like spending money while I'm there because that's like an unexpected trip. And so that's kind of where a lot of the problems started. And then I came here, and then my boyfriend and I both just moved here. He's from Korea. So.
And you?
I'm from Montana.
Okay.
So we both like moved here with like absolutely nothing. All we had was the apartment. So then a lot more charges kind of came on of, getting stuff for the apartment just because like the timing of everything. So that put a lot more debt on.
You didn't have to if we didn't have money.
Yeah, it was just like the timing of it because like he had paid his tuition, and then I had already spent like a lot of my savings trying to pay off the credit card debt from getting from Korea to Idaho. So then kind of like there wasn't any money in my checking account, and he didn't have any money available to him just yet.
Yeah.
So then we kind of were using my credit cards.
Why? If we don't have the money to afford, why are we doing it though?
Well, because you still need to like buy groceries and stuff like that.
Groceries, yes. You talked about furniture. Let's put a mattress on the ground and call it good until we can get things.
Well, yeah.
That we can pay for.
Yeah, and so that's kind of like what we were trying to do like in the beginning and stuff. And then it just kind of like spiraled kind of from there, as well as like some other issues that happened.
Like what?
The job that I had when I first moved to Austin was honestly just like extremely stressful. So there was a lot of kind of like bad spending just because like it was like mental health, I guess.
That was your coping?
Yeah, because like it was a remote job, and like I moved here with no friends, so the only reason for me to go outside was shopping, and so that kind of led to a lot more purchases. And now, like I said, we have a different job, mental health's a lot better, and yeah, now we're here. So
okay, well, we got to look elsewhere for coping, but either way, because I mean, we're not in a place where if something bad happened right now and we went back to that, we would just be going further and further into debt because we have no savings. This savings started at $62.26. $10 went out because you're below the minimum savings.
Yeah.
There's no even point of having this. I'd close this and put it somewhere else. This is nothing. I would just put this in the checking account. This, I mean, this $59 now is going to nothing. So what are we doing? I mean, have you been seeing you're losing $10 a month?
Yeah, I just saw that because the bank that I used, they just increased the minimum account balance from $50 to $100 a little bit ago, and I hadn't gotten that notice because like this bank is up in North Dakota. So I do like the email notifications and stuff like that, but I just had missed the one where they had increased it to $100. So that's kind of why it's going down. And like I said, I was using it like about this time last year before, the stuff happened. So like it was being used. It's just I had to use that to pay my credit card.
But the most it's ever been was like just over 1,000.
Yeah.
Okay. And this retirement account sitting at $86.
Yeah.
So certainly nothing much there. And that's in a Target retirement fund, it looks like. So I'm cool with that. Now, Robinhood, it's pretty much, it's kind of funny.
It's going to be like about the same.
It's basically the same that you have in your Robinhood versus retirement account, $77. Why are we in bore drilling?
I think that was just like one of the ones that kind of like came up as like a default one or something like that.
Maybe it was the free one you got signing up. Some of the other ones are good, like Microsoft. Well, I don't know what Tilray is, but Microsoft and Visa and Apple, as far as individual stocks go, okay. And then you have some other ETFs which are good, but bore drilling, Tilray brands. I would get on that more if we were talking about like an overall balance of a retirement portfolio, but there really isn't a retirement portfolio. $25 in another Robinhood. Maybe this is a Robinhood IRA.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, the way that my job kind of was like, it was like a contract employee before I became like a full-time. So when I got hired on as like that contract, I started like these 2 accounts because I wanted to start putting money away to save just like a little bit. because at the time I didn't have like a 401k or anything. And then I became like a full-time employee through Markel. And then I got access to their 401k. So I started like contributing into there. And then I just haven't closed out of the Robinhood one yet to put the money in there.
And this is just in some ETFs, but again, this is split between a few. So that was the good section. Like, we're going into the painful section now, and I'm already a little nervous because we have absolutely nothing saved. We're Venmoing out and selling out money on things we cannot afford. We're going out to eat. And, of course, of this relationship we're in, which, I mean, you guys aren't married. There's no legal agreements, as far as I know, except for maybe this, that. But either way, you're not taking care of rent, and it's been taken care of by his parents. That's fine, but you're taking care of everything else. But we're bringing in $2,100 a month is what's hitting our account in a quite expensive city like Austin, Texas. All of it's going into all that crap. We're not paying off our credit cards. That's what we're about to go into. And we have nothing in savings. So I'm already feeling a bit nervous. Okay. The credit card. This is the credit card that you're trying to pay off, as you said. Trying to pay off. What is this try to pay off? Because that's some bullshit.
So I recently, when I first got the card, I was actually able to pay it off like every month. Cause like this was my first credit card. And at the time I didn't have any credit. So I was like able to actually do it, like every month. And then, like I said, when all that stuff happened, back in July, then that's when I kind of got more reliant on it. And then it's just been like that downward spiral.
Well, in that case, you're clearly not a credit card person. Chop them up. Doesn't make sense. This is not your emergency fund. We make an emergency fund. But again, what's the bullshit of you were spewing to me earlier? I'm paying it. I'm trying to pay it off. What is that bullshit? You said that.
Yeah. So that's just been me back in, I want to say like it was like in March when I got like the confirmation that I was going to become like a full-time employee. I had tried to stop like using my card like as much, my credit card, and then I was just using my debit cards for a while there. And then when it got to the point where, because I was paid weekly when I was a contract worker, and then I switched to biweekly as a full-time employee. So there was like a little bit there where I needed to go to the grocery store and stuff, but I didn't have enough money to actually go to the grocery store.
Okay, so then, grocery store.
Yeah,
okay, we can talk about grocery store, but that's not what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Paying off, okay, starting with $3,212, paying off $271. Okay, that's more than the minimum monthly payment. Fantastic. But you purchased $1,688 on there, accruing interest of $91, bringing your now total balance of $4,720 on your Discover card. So what is the bullshit trying to pay this off? Because guess what? That is not groceries. That is not groceries. What is it? What's the bullshit?
It's also just like some other stuff.
Yes, but why say you're trying to pay it off?
Because like I am like trying.
No, you're not. You're putting all the money on there. You paid off $271 and then you put $1,688 on. That's not trying to pay it off. Right?
No.
What? Okay. Because I don't want to bullshit here. We're not going to be able to overcome anything, do anything, improve our situation in any way whatsoever if we're saying, I'm trying to pay it off, and then I look at that. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Anything?
Right.
Okay.
Yeah. No, sorry.
So, okay, again, we're saying, well, I had to do some groceries. We're not doing groceries. Look at all those lines. That's bullshit. That's bullshit. Green lines equals bullshit down here. We're spending money on some crap. It was $104 HYTT and Taco Bell and some. The way they combine these words makes it impossible to read. But some triangle lender. What's that? $60 triangle lender. What's that? EWC triangle lender.
I go get wax, and there was just like a miscommunication on, I have like the wax pass, so all I do whenever I go there is pay tip, and there's just a miscommunication on like.
But you pay for the pass.
Yeah, I've already paid for the pass, so I got like the.
So get some wax, boyfriend waxes. You really cannot afford to be doing all these extra things.
Well, like I got in the wax pass when I came here last year, and I'm not planning on getting another one. So once I finish like the last 3 of them, then I'm going to be done.
Okay. And you're tipping good. And you're going to TLC, which is a restaurant, and Troubadour Apartments, you're paying $3. It's something as a supermarket that's clearly not a necessity. Alamo, Draft House, Netflix, Total Wine & More, CenturyLink, Astound, powered by Grande.
Yes.
Is that your utility?
Yeah.
Please?
So
Why are we putting that on a credit card if we're trying to pay it off?
So I just had when I first had the CenturyLink, that one was just on my credit card, just because I didn't have my debit card with me. But that's actually going to get changed because now it's in somebody else's name. So I just need to get that changed there, and then I just need to also fix the Grande, because that's also that's the internet that we pay for.
Okay. Apple subscription, going to movie theaters, Apple subscription. Mint Mobile, that's a good way to save money. I have a link in the description. I partnered with them. You can sign up. And Breakerwood Skin, you spent so much money on the waxing and the skincare and cosmetics and all this stuff.
Skincare was for a dermatologist appointment for the moles I have.
Oh, okay. Well, that's fine. I'm chilling there.
Yeah.
Apple Bill, H&M. I assume you are okay on clothes, and it was not an emergency to go to H&M and buy clothes.
It was an emergency in the sense of when I went to Korea, I didn't take all of my clothes with me. And at the time I was working remotely, but now I have an in-office job and I can't wear a lot of the clothes I have in office because they have holes in them where they show too much cleavage or stuff like that.
Well, the suit peddler certainly wasn't necessary, or going to the salon, or Merit Triangle, or going to the movie theaters, or having an ad-free discovery program, or Taco Bell. Mm-hmm. So all those green lines with a utility thrown in there, and then the dermatologist was just totally fine. All that was bullshit. We're not trying to pay off a credit card. We're not trying to make progress. You have money you owe your boyfriend, and yet we're spending all that money on that crap. Why are we going to the crap? I need to know the mentality behind it so we can overcome it. Why are we spending so much on bull?
Yeah, so the eating out only happens if I don't bring a lunch to work.
Bring a lunch to work!
I do. Honestly, 95% of the time, it's just that one, 5% is if I didn't realize I had ran out of something the night before and it's too late to go to the grocery store. Or if it's kind of one of the things where it was poor planning on my side and I just didn't make something for lunch, then I'll go out and eat. But that doesn't happen all that often with this job.
All that often?
Well, during
all that often?
Well, going out for lunch at work, that doesn't happen.
Well, then what's all the other
and a lot of the other stuff is if my boyfriend, if neither one of us is up for cooking, where it's just we're both just completely
okay, well,
exhausted.
You're up for cooking now.
Yeah.
That's no longer a thing. You're trying to get out of credit card debt. You're trying to pay your boyfriend back. Your boyfriend doesn't even have a job, and he gave you money that you have to pay back. Come on. Mm-hmm. We are not going out to eat just because, we're tired. Mm-hmm. We're not going out to eat. On the better side of this, there is another credit card that, you spent money on it, but there is no balance. Again, You are clearly not a credit card person because on that other card, you're trying to pay it off, but you what was it? Quadrupled the balance versus what you put towards it from what you spent. Mm-hmm. This is terrible. Cut it up, put all your payments to the debit card. This doesn't make any sense. I don't care about your credit if you're ruining your money and losing $91 a month in interest. Mm-hmm. It's only going to get worse because the balance is going up. Mm-hmm. But $56, we went to the grocery store and we got some gas. That's totally fine. Mm-hmm. I'm chilling with that. We have student loans. Where'd you go to college?
The University of Hawaii at Hilo.
Sure, that was expensive.
No, not really. I think in total,
out of state in Hawaii?
Not out of state. So the Western states, the 13 Western states, all have this agreement called the WUI exchange, where if you're a resident of any of the 13, you can go to any other state college for 150% of the in-state tuition. So for me, at the time,
still not perfect, but yeah.
Yeah, but it was ended up. I wanted to go to Portland State University, but that was going to cost $50,000-$60,000. But UH Hilo was only going to be $35,000. So I ended up kind of just going over there instead.
Some is subsidized, some is unsubsidized. You're at $32,245. Student loans are going to start up very, very soon. It's going to be about a $400 minimum monthly payment, I assume.
Yep.
Are you on a traditional repayment plan or are you on income base? What were you before it went to deferment?
So I've always been on deferment. I haven't actually.
Yeah, because you graduated during that whole thing.
Yeah, I graduated in 2021. So
interest is probably gonna be anywhere from 3 to 6% for the unsubsidized and then subsidized.
Yeah, I think it was like 5 or 6 when I first got them like taken out. When I first like did them, it was. I think it's been some time.
6%. Yeah, it's getting in that suck area. Not like death, but sucks. Okay, so boyfriend, what do we owe him and for what?
So I think I now owe him $1,800. And that's pretty much just I had borrowed a little bit of money to pay on my credit card with all of the the purchase that we used when we first came here because like we didn't like all have a car and stuff, so it was a lot of using my card to like get around.
Where did you get this money from to give you to pay off the card?
I cannot share that. I'm sorry.
When did he get it?
He got it I want to say in August.
And when did you guys move here?
July.
You guys couldn't wait a month to get the stuff you were putting on your credit card besides just the groceries? You didn't max out the credit cards with groceries.
No. It's also like he wanted some of the stuff now, so.
Well, good. Then he could wait until he could pay for it if he wanted it. What? He is South Korean?
Yeah.
Oh, he's getting very American with that. I need it now, and so let me spend money I don't have. How much did you get from him at the peak?
At the peak, it was $4,000.
Huh. And you've been paying it off since August of last year?
Yeah, because for the longest time, he was telling me to not pay him back because he wanted me to pay off my credit card at the time, which was only about $2,000.
It's gotten worse.
Yeah.
The 4,000s now.
Well, I did pay a little bit more, so now it's like at $3,700. So it's a little bit less.
Yeah, but at the pace you're doing it, you went from, well, it was 2,000, so but then we got to 4,200. Oh, these need to be cut up. Mm-hmm. This cannot be a thing anymore. Okay. Are you doing a minimum monthly payment, or are you just paying it as you can do, or what? What is this?
I don't do the minimum monthly payment. I try to do between like $200 to $600 if I feel like I'm able to like afford that. Like
call it $400 then.
Yeah, because like I know there's some times where like I'm not going out as much. Like all the movies things, that was just me. Like I hadn't gone out in a while, and I was just like, okay.
I don't care.
Well, it's one of those where it's like if I do it once, then it kind of just like goes in a grouping, and then like there'll be just months where I don't go out at all, and then
you don't go out at all. Period. Mm-hmm. Should be as simple as that. 400. So we'll try to put towards them. Okay, your car, it's fully paid for?
I use his car.
Okay.
It's he bought the car, but he's.
Do you need a car?
Yeah, to go to work.
No. Do you need a car, or is this situation working out?
No, it's working. I don't need a car.
Okay, he works from home or studies from home.
Not studies from home, but we live close enough to the law school. Like he just he bought a bike that he just takes to school and back again just because it's easier. And then I take the car to work.
Okay, very good. So you don't see needing to get a car in your near future?
Honestly, no.
How much longer for law school?
He just finished his first year, so he's got 2 more years, and then he's got to take the bar.
Yeah.
And then in that time, then I'll probably will need a car, but that's kind of like, we were still kind of like talking about that situation because there's still a possibility that we might move from Austin. So
why? Well, at the end.
Yeah, once he gets his job, because we can't guarantee he's going to find something here, and so that's kind of why it's been a little bit of a low priority, because it's like, well, don't even know if I'll need the car kind of thing. Well,
we'll put you up in a situation where if that comes up, it'll be fine. Okay. Any other debts?
No, that's pretty much all of it.
That's it. Okay. So disgusting credit card debt, and then owing boyfriend, and then student loans, which are very common. So let's see here. Your minimum monthly payments for debt is $912. If we do the $400 to boyfriend. Now, he takes care of rent, and you said I take care of everything else. What's everything else?
So I pay for the groceries.
Okay.
I pay for the cell phone, which we talked earlier, like the Mint Mobile thing. So I do that.
What's the cell phone? That you take care of?
So I do the 6-month plan through Mint Mobile. So I pay like the 200 something, and then like one time, and then just wait for the 6 months and then do it again. I think it's like 230, and it's for both phones, so that's like 4 something.
Yeah, so $33 a month. Okay.
And then also pay for the internet, which is about 65, the power, which is about 90, and then let's see, the streaming services. I personally have Apple Music, which is $5.99. He does Amazon. He does like the Amazon.
Yeah,
Hulu.
Discovery and stuff.
Yeah, Discovery is like the 7 whatever it is. Like
Cancel that.
Yeah.
That's not on the budget anymore. Apple Music.
It's just one of those, like, for me, it's like we get to listen to music and podcasts and stuff like at work, so it's just kind of one of those, like, it's nice to put
but also
something
just
on.
like YouTube. But
I mean, yeah, I was using the podcast, and then actually like to while I was working, and then
all right, I'll put it in there. $6. What else? Gas for the car? Do you pay for that? Does
Yeah.
he? How much?
Well, it's whoever puts it in.
How much do you put?
I fill up the tank, so I usually pay about like between 35 and 40. About like every week and a half, 2 weeks ish.
Okay, we'll call it 80 a month. We'll call it 90 a month.
Yeah. And
Okay. Anything else?
I want to say that's all of it.
Car insurance? What's your car insurance? Well,
he pays the car insurance because the car's like in his name and stuff, so he does all that.
No, yeah. Renter's insurance?
He does that because that's like part of like the car insurance. So he takes care of that, and then
does he? So you take care of all the groceries for both of you?
Yeah.
Okay. You're getting $400 a month for food, groceries for both of you.
Yeah, that's actually about a little bit less sometimes.
Toilet paper, all the extra stuff that you need for the household, giving you $100.
Okay.
Okay, so minimum monthly budget in order to survive, $1,696. And now, of course, $200 of that is extra that we're putting to the minimum monthly boyfriend payment. But that leaves you an extra $400 you should have on a monthly basis. $400. So this is what I need you to do, because relationships are not 100% forever. You know, at least when you're married, got some legal things, but still, when you're dating, $400 a month. New York, 37 hours a week. I would love to see that extra, because $400 a month is going to be slow. First of all, the budget I laid out of the debt, cell phone, interest, electric, Apple Music, gas, groceries, and toilet paper money. That's it. No money spent outside of that from you. He can do whatever he wants. He can pay for things. I don't care. That is what you spend. Nothing else. No, we're doing $200 for the boyfriend. So we're actually dropping this down from $1,700 a month to live on to $1,500 a month, because we're doing the $200 instead of the $400. Meaning you have an extra $600. Now, for 2.5 months, I'm putting that $600 into a high yield savings account. Not with your bullshit savings account. I hate that place. Stupid. And you're doing that for a month and a half. Save up till you get $1,500. And then from there, how stressed is the boyfriend about the money? Getting back to him.
It wasn't all that stressed before, but he's not super pressed about it right now, but he did say that he would like it sooner rather than later.
Would he rather you pay off the credit card first?
That is his preferred, but I feel since he's been waiting since August to try to also get him as soon as possible too. Okay.
Then it might be worth a conversation. Okay, here's the plan. Met with Caleb Hammer on financial audit. Here's the plan. Here's the budget that I'm sticking to. I'm not spending money on bullshit that I could be giving to you instead. But where the extra money is going, the extra $600 a month now is going to be paying off my credit card, and then we'll pay you off. And then see if he's okay with that. If he's not, then we can diverge the plan a little.
Okay.
We have about $4,000 essentially of the credit card debt. So after the 2.5 months of you get your little starter emergency fund, we have just about $4,000, because interest is going to accrue on the $37,000 that you have. divide that by that lovely 600. It's going to take about 6.5 months to pay off. So we're now at 9 months total. 9 months total. So anything you can do to increase your income, by the way, work any side hustles, I don't care, whether it be Uber Eats or driving Uber Eats or doing like Favor or anything like grocery delivery, whatever, get a second job after work, being a barista, I don't care. That will help you cut this down because now we're 9 months. We have the starter emergency fund and we've only paid off 1 of 3 debts. So this is already taking a long time. After that, you can then pay off the boyfriend. Minimum monthly payments have been made for a while there for 9 months, and there's no interest accruing. So there's about $900 left. Well, obviously. That'll take just like 1.5 months, essentially. Or 10.5 months. Now, the student loans, this is where things get interesting. By then, they'll certainly be happening. Okay. Anything that's above 4%, pay off as soon as possible. I don't know how much that is. I think that's going to take an additional year on the situation. Minimum. Could take an additional 2 years. Then everything else were minimum monthly payments until they're paid off if they're 4% or less. As long as the extra money that we would be putting towards it, we're putting towards investing. If we're not putting towards investing, we're paying off the debt instead.
Okay.
We're not just putting towards bull. So it's a little bit of a struggle because student loans are the biggest portion. We don't know where the interest rates sit at. I think this is going to take about 3 years total because then you have to save up in an emergency fund, probably about $10,000 to $15,000 in case you have to get the car. And you're going to go get a $7,000 to $10,000 car in cash if you have to do that. And then you're refilling that emergency fund. So I think this is actually like a four years minimum until you're allowed to spend money on fun. Because the income is quite minimal for the area, quite minimal for your situation. You're not even taking care of rent. If you had to take care of rent, would you have a $600 rent? I doubt it. You'd be in the hole. We wouldn't be able to make any progress. So if you can get a second job, bring an extra $500 a month. I mean, you're speeding this situation almost up by double. You're taking it from 4 years to 2 years, really. So we need to see what the student loans look like. But part of me is nervous with the credit cards of how they've operated. You're using them as an emergency fund. You haven't been able to keep money in your savings. I'm a little nervous. So we get that starter emergency fund, chop up your credit cards, never use them again because you just cannot use them. You're not a credit card person. And that's fine, but you're not a credit card person. So pay them off, chop them up, basic emergency fund, pay off the boyfriend, then pay off the student loans, anything above 4% as quick as you can. Then save up $10,000 to $15,000 for an emergency fund. We'll call it 15 in case you have to get a $10,000 car, and at least you have something sitting there still. So that's what I think. I think it's going to take a while. Get a second job, but that's my diagnosis. That's my prescription. What do you think?
Honestly, I think it's very valid and definitely a lot better than the no plan that I was doing before. So definitely gonna try and find a second job for sure.
Do you budget?
Not in like a strict sense of like...
Okay, so you don't budget.
Yeah.
It's time to budget. You're going to use any budgeting app. I do not care. Budget. You're following that budget strictly. Nothing else outside of it matters unless it's a need. If you have to go get moles looked at again, that's a need. So you have to go to therapy, that's a need. Stuff like that. Okay. And are you going to be able to you spent all that money on bull? That was a lot. You overspent. Like the credit card debt went up. Like you were more in the red last month than you were in the black by far. So clearly we're going further and further in the hole. Is that able to be something you stop?
Yeah. Like,
the bullshit? Going out to eat, really?
Well, it's kind of like now I'm also seeing a therapist and have like medication and stuff like that. So that's also kind of like definitely going to be like something that like we talk about and stuff. So that's going to stop.
Okay. If you're real about this, I should see that the last 6 months, if we meet in 6 months or when we meet in 6 months, I should see that that's all that's on the statement. There's nothing else unless it's an emergency need, that your starter emergency fund is filled up to that $1,500 and that you're starting to make progress on that credit card. We should see that. One thing that you might consider, talk to the boyfriend as well in that conversation saying, okay, I'm going to start paying this credit card off that I'm going to pay you off. Can I just pause paying you for now? That's an extra $200 that will go towards paying off the credit card even quicker. And then you can pay off his $1,800. It'll take around the same time anyway, but I'd rather attack the probably what's like 25, 30% interest rate credit card. And then, that's another option. Something worth thinking about.
Gotcha. I mean, I'm seeing him tonight, so we can definitely talk about it and kind of see like which one he prefers and kind of go from there.
Yeah. Any final thoughts?
I don't think I have any, no.
For Sienna, my main worry is her cutting back on that spending. Can she actually do it? Can she actually budget and then start attacking these things? If she is, she's in a young position now where she can be in a great position later if she really tackles this and gets a second job and, gets it taken care of even quicker. For her Hammer financial score, spending within a budget, 0 out of 10. Now, we were spending more money than we had with the credit card balance drastically increased. Debt, it's going to be a 3 out of 10. Not the worst debt we have. The debt to income's a bit of a struggle, but it's certainly not the worst debt we've had. Retirement, just getting started, so I will give her a 1 out of 10. Emergency fund, there's nothing 0 out of 10. Real estate, there's nothing 0 out of 10. So Hammer financial score so far at 25 years old, 1 out of 10. If you want a free $5, feel free to sign up for Acorns using the link in the description below. You get a free $5, I get a free $5, everyone wins. Don't forget to follow my Instagram and Twitter. Thanks.